Welcome, America.
Hi, America.
A moment of silence. Welcome to Angel and a Whiz. A moment of silence. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Angel's 104th show. 2 years.
3 years.
Always here. Dependable. And this is a totally volunteer thing. There's no money involved. And she has been here every week, and I truly, truly appreciate it, because otherwise it's just, me, and you probably wouldn't still be watching.
Someone's got to bring the pretty to this place.
Yeah, that's right. Good for you. And at the end of the show, we have the Hackensack Men and the Trenton Horns, and they're going to do Wooly Bully with the Glenn Max Band, and there's the two girl singers, and I don't know, a lot of people, and it turned out a lot of fun. That's at the end of the show today. So, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks a lot for doing it, and I really, really appreciate it. And it's been great, because you represent a more liberal, female, younger opinion. I represent what I represent on my end.
The old mess.
old guard. And but it's been good because, like your predecessor, you have brains, you're smart, you can be reasoned with, you don't live based on ideology, you can look at something with fresh eyes, and that's valuable. Those are truly valuable things. So now, you said you had a story?
I have a funny story. My sister is a colorist.
Okay.
She lives in Chicago.
Now, what's a colorist?
Well, when you go to a salon and you get your hair done, and
right.
women who get their hair colored.
Okay.
Normally at those salons that are in strip malls, those stylists do everything. They cut, they color, they perm, and whatever.
Okay.
My sister only colors hair. That's all she does.
Okay.
So the salon that she works at is a high society type salon.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So when celebrities come into town, they go to this particular salon, and they get their hair done, cut and colored or whatever. But there's people who all she does is color.
Right.
And so she was visiting and highlighted my hair. So my hair is a little bit lighter.
Right.
Not enough. It's enough that people notice that something has changed,
Right.
but they don't.
But you are blonde.
I am naturally. I am like they call it dishwater blonde. So I'm like this dirty color.
Dirty blonde.
Yeah, dirty blonde. It
That's what we
looks
used to
like
call
I
it, right.
stuck my head in a nasty sink, and
Right.
So she just added some light highlights. She highlighted my hair on the top. And so, like I said, it makes enough of a change where people are like, "Oh, you look so different," but they don't really know
why.
What is different.
Right.
Yeah. So this last week, everyone's been saying, "Oh, you look like you've got some sun."
Of course. Sure.
And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've got tons of sun." No, are you kidding me?
It's been cold.
No, I have the heat on in the day, in the morning.
Right.
I don't go outside until the sun's been out and it's almost 3 o'clock, and then I have to turn the AC on because it's hot. But then at 5 o'clock you have to turn the AC off and put the heat back on.
Right.
So I spend minimal amount of time outside.
Right.
And I kept thinking, why do people think I've gotten some sun? Oh, it's because my hair is lighter, so it makes me look like I've gotten a tan.
Oh, I see.
And no, I haven't gotten a tan. But I've been lying. I'm like, oh yeah. I've been out in the sun, and I've been
sunbathing.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
Very, very active.
No.
How are the cats?
They're good.
Okay.
They're good.
No crisis this week.
No cat crisis this week. Oh, the gato bit me. This is these two. This mark right here.
Oh, great.
These are teeth marks. There's a claw
Why?
mark here. I don't know. I had another cat in my lap, and he doesn't like that other cat that was in my lap, and
doesn't like to share.
He doesn't like to share. I think he got mad because I was protecting the other cat, and so instead of attacking the other cat, he attacked me, and then he realized, he bit me, and I was like, ah!
Right.
And then he let go, and then he hid because he knew he was in trouble, and I was like, don't fly. So I bought a book this weekend.
Okay.
It's called 48 Lies Liberals Told You. 48 Lies of American History that liberals told you and you probably learned in school or something like that.
I believe that.
I haven't read it yet, but I know, it showed, when I opened it up, it said, lie number 1, lie number 2, and it was things like that.
They lie about Thanksgiving. We've talked about that.
Yeah, I don't know if Thanksgiving's in there, but definitely they talked about September 11th. one of the lies it said was like September 11th was a conspiracy by the government or something like that. And I thought to myself, I'm fairly liberal.
Right.
Even I've never heard that lie.
Right.
So I'm like,
Right.
where are they getting these lies
Right.
from? But then there were a couple that I was like, oh, that's not true.
Yeah,
Like, I haven't
see?
read the book yet. I realized this weekend I have to stop buying books and I have to start reading
Oh yeah.
them because I have 10 books that
And you haven't read yet.
That I haven't read yet,
Oh, yeah.
but I'm already reading 2 now as it is. So.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, and see, that is a perfect example of why you are not valuable, because valuable is the wrong word. It suggests financial worth. But that's why.
I could put financial worth on me.
No.
How much? $2 million? I can do that.
No, but I'm saying that shows your quality, because even though you are quote unquote kind of liberal, you can look at a book like. There are some liberals that would never pick it up because they'd say it's not true. I mean,
Right.
they don't need to hear any facts. You know, it's all
Right.
done. They know, etc., etc., etc. And there's something else coming that you're going to come in contact with. And I wish I could remember the name of it exactly. It's something about something core.
Common Core.
Yes, Common Core.
Oh, it's already.
Is it? It's there already?
It started.
They're
to roll
trying
out.
desperately to get it removed. I think 16 states have already gotten it removed. Because what it does is it gives the government control over what's it called? The curriculum or the information. And you can't change it. The local public PTAs or whatever they call it. Wait, let me just finish. You can't change it. Once you accept this Common Core thing, you've got to teach it that way. You've got to teach what they say, and it's propaganda. It's done in such a way that you will be guided to conclusions. It's not as bad as like in the universities where they just tell you, well, if you're not liberal and if you don't accept a liberal position, you're going to get lousy grades. I mean, they come right out and say it. Here, they're not doing that, but they're using it to take people down the progressive track. And I think 16
clarify.
states have gotten rid of it already.
I bet those 16 states are majority Republican.
I wouldn't be surprised,
Okay.
because
So
they're the
let
only
me-
one, because it's the Democrats that are working with this Common Core to get this stuff out there, because
let
they're
me
trying
clarify.
to indoctrinate the children at a very early age. You know, you can't even
I
do
would
math
just-
the old way.
I have to tell you that.
And you're a math teacher.
Here's. Let me tell you
Common
the
Core.
big picture. They call it Common Core standards.
Yeah.
So far, there are only 2 sets of Common Core standards. There's reading standards.
Uh-huh.
And reading language arts standards, which is what they're calling, which means that students should be able to understand prose and poetry and write persuasive essays and things like that. And then
But
there's
they
math.
want to provide the materials that are used.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
And then there's math standards.
Right.
The math standards focus on not just concepts, but understanding the concepts. I am not and states that accept Common Core. Common Core is a very baseline list of standards.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to teach. These are things that students should be able to do by this. And if you're in an Algebra 1 class or if you're in a 10th grade English class, you should be able to read fictional literature and identify this and that. Okay?
Yes, and in math, you must
I'm not
figure.
done yet.
You got to do it their
I
way.
am not done yet.
Okay.
And then in math, you have to be able to explain how you calculated your answer. Explanation and support is a big thing in the math standards, which is needed. I am not opposed to the Common Core standards, because what's been happening is the states have been picking and choosing their own standards from like a national database set up by national for-profit organizations.
Right.
Okay? Which has
What's wrong with profit first?
Well, because then the best interest isn't in the students, the best interest is in that company making money.
Let me tell you something.
I'm not done yet!
I'm telling you, the best
I'm
interest
not
is
done
not in
yet!
these students. It is in the government telling you
I
crap.
am not done yet.
Okay, go. Good. I'm on your
If
side.
people want to know why our reading and our math scores are so low when compared to other countries,
Right.
it's because the other countries
Right.
control the education that their kids received. Here, our country says, here's what we think you should teach. up until Common Core, it was here's what we think you should teach, let the states decide. That is why the test scores from New York and the test scores from Alabama are so different, because they're not, the students in Alabama are not being held to the same educational instructional standards that the students in New York are being held to, because New York decided that they were going to have stricter standards in Alabama. We have to have, as a country, the only way we can get our students to be higher achievers is to unite together and have the same standards. Period. That's it. So the government is not saying you have to use our materials. They're leaving that up to other schools. I know this.
I know.
I know this
That's
because
what you
I was
have-
on the textbook adoption committees for the Common Core standards.
I understand that.
But there are some disagreements in things that they want us to, like, a lot of the teachers, at least in this state, are saying, well, our students aren't capable of doing that at this grade level. Well, they're not capable of doing it here because you've never forced them to do this. But why are students in the Northeast and the Southwest able to do it? You know, or why are students in the Midwest able to do this and the students in the Northwest can't? Like, because there's been no thing. So that's the biggest complaint. The Republicans hate it.
Absolutely.
And the Republicans hate it because they don't like government controlling education. Whatever. I don't give a crap about that. Our education system needs to be fixed, and you can no longer leave it up to the states. Because I am so tired of students transferring from other states and either being behind or too far ahead, and there's nothing we can do to fix it.
Well,
we need a unifying thing, and Common Core is it, and there's nothing wrong with Common Core. And unless you can give me hard evidence, proof that the government is saying you have to, then that. But the only thing the government is saying is that here is the minimum standards these kids need to have. Period.
Right.
And they're even saying, they're even leaving it up as to how the states use those standards, especially at the high school level. Some states are saying, well, all ninth graders have to achieve these standards, where other states, like the one that we live in, is saying, well, all students in Algebra 1 have to achieve these standards. But the main thing is, by the time they graduate high school, they have to have done this group. So even as much control as you think that the government is forcing upon, they're not.
Okay, thank you. It's bothering the heck out of me. Got a piece of hair there. Well, I didn't realize I was going to have to make a legal brief today.
I've gone to many
no.
conferences and meetings from a ton of different people. Some of them, I'm like, some of them they've been a joke. They've been regarding Common Core. Some of them have been a joke when all you know is it's them plugging their product because of whatever. I'm just like, this is stupid. But others have been informative, explaining the standards and what, you know, how they're being implemented and things like that. So, but I have noticed that every time there was a Republican, a hardcore, you can tell who the hardcore Republicans were in those.
Yeah, because they don't want the government involved in education.
The government needs to be involved in education.
No.
Why do you think China's scores are so much better than ours? Because the government says, here's what the kids need to learn. If the government was involved in education, we wouldn't be so low compared to all the other countries. The kids in the third world countries score higher on math tests than our students do. There's a problem with that. We are not number one.
Can I speak?
No.
I'll wait.
Now you can.
Thank you. The fact of the matter is, you're talking about China, which is a communist country where people do not...
Japan.
Fine.
Asia.
Can I finish? I shut up for you.
Thank you.
We're never going to get to Show 105. Don't hurt me. But the point I'm trying to make is this. I have so much faith in you and your ability to see through, because I take a little tiny bit of credit from opening your eyes just a little bit, and I think you do see things that you might not have seen before. That while I do not have the brief in front of me that I could use to explain why Common Core is as bad as it is, it's because of the things that are going to be used and what they are going to teach with this information. They are not teaching about America and independence and freedom and all of that.
No, because
Let me
the
finish.
standards are reading and math. You don't teach about.
No.
That's called social studies.
Reading. What they are reading, the stuff that they are being given to read, that's the problem. The way they are changing the approach to math is the problem. Do you know that there used to be an Egyptian measurement, and then there was there's different ways of measuring, okay, things, And well, let me not get sidetracked. We'll talk about this another time about the Egyptian inch and all that stuff. But the fact of the matter is, what's really happening under the cloak of the city, because I agree there should be standardization. That standardization should be worked out among the states by state representatives coordinating together, and it should be done by the states.
God,
Let me
no.
finish. Let me finish.
Oh God, no.
Can I finish?
State stuff.
Please.
Give me a notepad. State
No.
Stuff.
Okay. It should not be dictated, because what happens when it comes from the federal government, especially now, it has this. This is what we show you. This is what we're giving you. But you can't see this. You will. I have faith. If Common Core is here, the time will come when you will see what I'm talking about.
Common Core has to be fully implemented by 2014.
Well, I'm telling you, states are bailing out of it now because they're starting to see what's underneath the Common Core. We're America. I know this may sound hard to believe. It might sound hard to believe at you folks at home too. We are fighting for our country right now. Our country is on the verge of slipping away to Washington. And they are going to control everything. Do you know what happens when they take over, or when Obamacare takes over? Your freedom is gone. The things that you think about,
Hey, I'm
and
not
the sad.
complaining about I haven't had to pay for a medical thing yet.
Well, why should you? You've
And
got everybody else that will pay for it for you.
But I have health insurance. I'm like, I hand them my card and they're like, no, it's you got
No,
copay.
Obama's
I'm
going to
like,
pay for it.
what?
Well, let me just tell you what's going to happen.
I'm waiting for the giant-ass bill in the middle of the year.
Not
You
just
know, it's
that.
$4,000.
I am telling you that once every dictator that has ever tried to take, that has ever done what they do as a dictator, one of the first things they take is health care. Because now I got you. You're mine. You are mine. And the other thing that they're doing with this Common Core is they're using this as a way to gain data. Okay? And they're starting to mine data through the kids and the information that they turn in. And it goes into, and that's number one.
They've been
Number
doing
two.
that for years.
Yes, but not now. It's really coordinated. Now it's really being. You know
Good, 'cause
that
now
Obama.
I have a better reading of how
You're
poor
not.
their
You're-
students
what
are
they,
doing.
what they're reading is going to be poisoning their minds. Okay, they're not going to have the freedom. In other words, you're going to have to choose the books they want. You're going to get a list, and you can pick any book on this list.
I have never heard that yet.
Okay, that's right. That's exactly right.
Where did you get this information? You have
I
to
just
email,
found out
you
about it the
have
other day.
to email me the website that you got this information
No, it
from.
wasn't from a website. It was from a news broadcast.
Oh,
But what I
God.
want, no,
You have
I
to
was. I
give
think it
me
was
a
on
link.
radio.
You have to
But,
give me. You have to find that and email it to me so I can look at it.
I'm happy to do that. But I also know that because I do believe with this, you will see it. And the time will come when you will come back to me and you're going to say, you know what you were saying about this Common Core? You were right. Because you have the ability to learn. You have the ability to see things. You're not a pushover. You just don't accept it. This is like when Henry Ford said they can have any color they want as long as it's black. Okay? Well, you can do anything that you want off of this list. Why? Because we put the list together. And we know what's in the list. And you're not getting anything that suggests you have a free mind, you can do what you want, be an entrepreneur, grow, do this, that. And the way they're changing how they want you to teach math, how they want people to figure things out. A simple problem. I wish I had the illustration. It was so great. It showed how adding normally works, and how they want you to do it now. It's not new math. And if you don't do it their way, that's a problem.
I think I know what you're talking about. I've
Okay.
seen an example,
Okay.
an
And
addition example where I looked at it and I was like, that's stupid.
It is
But-
stupid. And then the problem is, what's happening is, once you accept Common Core, you must do it their way.
No. You must.
That's what's
the
coming.
students must pass the test.
Yes, but the test is designed to make sure that it's done.
As
Wait,
with
because you
any-
can't
As with
pass.
any education-based standardized testing, all those high-stakes tests that were pushed down with the No Child Left Behind,
Right.
which started the whole Common Core thing. If No Child Left Behind wasn't such a screw-up,
Right.
we wouldn't have to go in and fix it with Common
Yeah,
Core.
but what's happening is the government is using this opportunity to infiltrate these young minds of mush. Okay?
If it makes you feel better, these young minds of mush can't read squat anyway.
Well, now they're going to be reading the wrong stuff. and they're going to be. They're starting to.
My nephew.
They're even starting to
I take
change
this back.
history. They're starting to
There's
change
no history
history.
Common Core standards.
No, it's in the reading. It's in the books that they're going. You'll see. I have complete
Here's
faith
I'm
in
gonna
you.
go back to something. You said something about the states.
2215.
The states. I don't trust the states to get together and make solid decisions, or state representatives.
Have they had the chance?
They've had chances.
I don't know.
They can't get their because it's the states that have been dictating things about education, and it's just a big screw up. I mean, it is.
All I know is when I went to school, we learned about economics, we learned about government, we learned how things work.
Those are still taught in schools.
Yeah, but they're not taught the same way.
Because
that's the
learners
problem.
have changed.
No,
the students
because
have changed.
they don't want the kids to know right from wrong when it comes to economics. They don't want you to understand that if taxes go down, we make more money. Because they want taxes to go up. They want more money. But they don't get more money with higher taxes. People pay less when the taxes go up. When the taxes go down, look at George Bush put in tax cuts. The government has never received as much money as it gets now. And if you didn't have a drunken sailor, my apologies to drunken sailors, spending every dime plus 10 when they can, we would be so far ahead it wouldn't matter. But we now live in we're living in an environment where it's okay. You could have food stamps and you could have welfare and you can have this help and that. Let me finish.
When you get elected, because we won't have enough time for you to finish.
Okay, I'm sorry.
When you get elected, we can fix the Common Core issue, but we're going to do it the right way.
I have no problem with that.
But I'm telling you, you can't leave it up to the states. Here's why. Texas is a big education screw up. And I would use much different language if we weren't.
Well, why is
this.
Texas a screw up?
Because Texas, first of all, Texas is the largest state, so all the textbook companies
go to Texas.
Right. And Texas is the one that's changing history. They wanted to totally remove, I think, something like slavery from their books, from their textbooks. Like talk
I don't
about
believe that.
Oh, it happened. It was on
it.
the news, and they finally.
What, Channel 4.
Well, whatever.
MSNBC?
No, it was a couple years ago.
Okay, well, they were
Anyway.
Oh, we're out.
We're out.
The to be continued. Congratulations.